waiting for my son to finish his baseball practice, and I thought I would share with you some tips for helping your host get a great turnout at their party. So it's really important that your host invites enough people so that she or he has an attendance of around 20 to 40 people. Some won't get that high, and that's okay. But the goal here is that we're helping our host get as many people in her party or his party as possible. So there's a couple ways to do this. Now, the first thing you obviously want to do is partner with your host to make sure that he or she is inviting enough people. It's not uncommon for them to invite 60 to 100 people to get around 20, 30, or 40 people in the group. And this is just going to be different for each one of your hosts. So I like to do this by sending my hosts a video of myself explaining that process. And I just like to add a personal touch anytime I can. Here's the video that I send my hosts. Hey, I am so excited about your party coming up. I have your group all ready for you, and so the only thing left to do is to start inviting. Now, this is one of the most important factors to helping you have a great success at your party. So I really recommend inviting as many people as you can. It's not uncommon for my host to invite 100 people, and hopefully we'll have between 30 and 40 people in the group, which will give us a great turnout. So go ahead and start inviting, and tomorrow we're going to go through and double check who saw that they were invited and who joined the group and who we need to reach out to just to make sure that they saw our invitation. So if you have any questions at all about this, please let me know. And if you're feeling nervous about this part, that's totally normal, but I'll just remind you, no one is ever offended to be invited to something. They're only ever offended to not be invited. And if they don't want to join in, if it's not their thing, that's totally cool. But there's no harm in seeing if someone wants to join in and check out the new content. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. So I send that to my host, and then of course away my host goes with the inviting process. Now, you definitely want to make sure that you're giving your host enough time to get this done. So if her party is starting tomorrow and she's getting her message right now, like the day before, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on her to work it into her schedule. Whereas if you give her a few days, then if she has, a lot on her plate that day, if she's a busy person, she's not feeling stressed out about sending out those invites. The other thing about doing the invites a little bit earlier is you want to help your host reach out to people after she's done. Once your host has sent out all the invitations and you've had about a day pass, you're going to want to have your host reach out to anyone who did not respond to the invitation. And she'll know this by looking at the members list after you've made her a moderator. Your host needs to be a moderator and hit refresh for this to work. And then when she goes to the members panel, she'll be able to see next to the guest either that they were added or invited. Added means that that guest has selected join group and now is in the group and will see all the posts and everything. Now, if it says invited, that means that they may not have seen the invitation. And so the only way for us to really make sure of that, because that notification is long gone buried under all of the other notifications that person probably got. Have your host reach out. I send the message to my host to use, and she just goes in and messages all those people. And usually I do see about 10 to 15 more people added in the group through this process. The other thing you'll want to know is how many people your host invited. If you see that your host invited 30 people, it's going to be really hard to get 30 people in the group because, again, not everyone's going to be into the idea of joining the party. So all you have to do there is encourage your host to invite more people. You may need to reassure her that it's okay to invite people who you're not super close with. If they eat and you know them, they can be invited, and that's no problem at all. So just encourage your host to maybe branch out to a couple more people. And she can also post the group on her timeline so that people can join the group right from her Facebook wall. That's another really great way to do it. With all of those steps combined, it's actually a really easy process. And this is going to help your hosts get off to a really great start by having the highest attendance possible for her party. And it's worth noting here that just because a host doesn't have 20 to 30 people. If you have a host with like 10 or 12 people, it doesn't mean that's not going to be a great party. It could still be an amazing party. But we want to give our host the best chance possible to have the highest sales possible and just help her maximize her rewards. So it's always good to partner with your host to make sure they have as many people in the group as possible. I hope this is helpful. If it was, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get more useful content on how to get the most out of your business. Talk to you guys later. Bye.